Mississippi, 1932. Sammy enters the church in the middle of Sunday service. He looks exhausted, blood-stained from head to toe. Jedediah, his local priest and Sammy's father, begins to pray over his son while Sammy has visions of a terrifying creature. Jedi embraces Sammy and tells him he must stop playing that devil's music and repent. But Sammy clings even tighter to his broken guitar as he recalls the monsters. It all began one day earlier, the day before. Twin brothers Smoke and Stack return home after years in the army and then working for the Chicago Mafia. With the money they'd stolen from gangsters, they buy an old sawmill and its land from ex-Ku Klux Klan member Hogwood. The brothers warn Hogwood that if he or any of his clan friends are seen on their new property, they'll be killed on the spot. Hogwood laughs and assures them the clan no longer exists. Meanwhile, Sammy finds his guitar in the church, and Jedi tells him he brought it there because he wants Sammy to help with tomorrow's sermon. He has Sammy read a Bible passage to remind him not to fall into temptation, but Sammy just wants to finish working and rest. Furious, Jedi scolds his son for preferring to play music for drunks rather than serving God, warning him it will attract the devil's attention. Moments later, the twins arrive to pick up Sammy, who is their cousin, and the trio heads by car into the woods to retrieve a truck the brothers had hidden earlier. They find a snake in the back of the truck and quickly kill it with a knife. Smoke drives the truck into town and pays a young woman to watch it while they go to the grocery store owned by their old friend Bo and his wife Grace. During a warm reunion, Smoke explains that he and Stack are opening a juke joint and want the store to supply food and make some posters for them. Suddenly, Smoke hears the truck horn and goes out to find two men trying to steal their hooch. He opens fire immediately, shooting one in the backside and the other in the leg. The would-be thieves quickly beg for mercy when they see who's firing. Everyone in town knows the twins' fearsome reputation. While Stack drives the car, he gives Sammy some risque advice on pleasing a woman, but Sammy is more interested in how the twins' father died, now that he's old enough to understand. Stack explains that their father was abusive. One day, he knocked Stack unconscious. Then Smoke burned their father alive. Stack then gives Sammy their father's guitar, which Sammy gratefully accepts with a song. They arrive at the train station where Slim is playing harmonica. Stack wants Sammy to play at his new club, but Slim refuses, saying he's already booked. Seeing Slim's alcoholism, Stack switches tactics, offering more money and all the Irish beer he can drink. Slim agrees, and that night, Slim and Sammy perform together, while Stack announces to the crowd that the juke joint will open soon. He doesn't notice that his ex-girlfriend Mary is watching from afar. After the show, Sammy flirts with Perline, who tells him she's married. Since she's also a singer, Sammy asks her to join that night's performance. Mary approaches Stack to reproach him for disappearing without a word and for not sending flowers to her mother's funeral, considering how well Mary had cared for the twins. Stack feigns indifference to protect her, and Mary leaves. The trio leaves by car and passes some prisoners working by the roadside. Slim recognizes them and admits he once served time with them. Eventually, they stop at the cotton fields to recruit Cornby, who agrees to work as the club's doorman. Smoke visits his son's grave and leaves flowers, then speaks with his ex-wife Annie and asks her to be the juke joint's cook. Although Annie doesn't like the idea of the business, when she enters her house, it's revealed she's been practicing hoodoo and selling remedies to locals. After her last customers leave, Smoke dismisses magic and ghosts, yet Annie tells him magic has protected the twins for years, pointing out the mojo bag he still carries. Smoke admits he misses her and still loves her, and they share an intimate moment. In the afternoon, a blazing Irish immigrant named Remick stumbles to the nearest cabin begging for help. He says the Choctaw tribe is trying to kill him. Joan and Bert point guns at him as he falls to his knees weeping. He claims the Choctaw captured his wife. Inside the house, he offers the couple gold coins for their aid. Moments later, Choctaw warriors arrive, demanding Remick. Joan denies having seen him and slams the door. Searching for her husband, Joan finds Bert unconscious with a deep neck wound and Remick covered in his blood. Suddenly, Bert wakes with glowing eyes. Remick is a vampire and has bitten him to turn him. Joan screams in horror. Night of the juke joint's opening. All are enjoying the juke joint when Smoke discovers Stack is letting customers pay with plantation credits, money they no longer have enough of. Stack and Annie convince him that being flexible with the rules will make the place popular and attract real cash. When Mary tries to enter, Cornby initially blocks her. but then recognizes her as a childhood friend and lets her in. Sami, knowing Mary's unwelcome, tries to expel her, but she drags him to the bar for a drink. Sami is puzzled why she's allowed. Mary explains her grandfather was mixed race and her mother breastfed the twins as if they were her own. Their talk is interrupted when Smoke throws Mary out. She refuses his money, and they argue until Stack admits he still loves her but cannot stay with her to protect her. Mary leaves in tears. Slim has been playing piano all night and now it's Sami's debut. The crowd adores him and begins dancing. Sami's talent is so powerful that spirits of dancers and musicians from past and future join the celebration. After his performance, Sami leads Perline to a private room. The music also draws the attention of Remick, now also a vampire, and Bert. When they attempt to enter, Cornby stops them, and the twins soon come to investigate. Remick claims they're mere musicians seeking a venue and offers to pay, but the twins explain they don't allow white people, and the trio leaves. Smoke urges Sami to stay home and play in the church, warning it's safer. He even threatens Sami with his gun when Sami says he plans to leave the plantation for a better life. Sami remains determined, and Smoke holsters his pistol. Meanwhile, Stack confesses to Mary that they're losing money because guests use plantation credits. Mary suggests checking on the three musicians to see if they really had money. Stack lends her his pistol, and she finds them singing near the building. Remick shows her strange gold coins, saying they're from another time and place. They speak of life and feelings, and Mary almost trusts them, until Remick's eyes glow red. She draws Stack's pistol and backs away. When she tries to return, Remick lunges at her. Cornby needs to use the restroom, so he leaves Slim to guard the entrance. While urinating in the woods, Cornby hears someone whisper his name. Mary returns to the juke joint just in time to see Perline singing with Sami. She gives Stack some gold coins and kisses him. He pulls away, but Mary persuades him into a private room. Their kisses distract Stack so much that he doesn't notice Mary's wound in his shoulder. Meanwhile, Smoke races to the betting room where a man has turned violent, cutting players with a blade. Smoke subdues him with his gun, and they discover loaded dice in the man's pockets. The other players beat the cheater, and Smoke tells Sami to fetch Stack. When Sami opens the door, he sees Mary and returns to Smoke, saying he didn't want to interrupt. Smoke heads over himself, but notices Cornby is gone. Slim agrees. Cornby is taking too long, and Smoke opens the side door, only to find Mary, now a vampire, biting Stack. Smoke fires both pistols at her. She heals instantly and declares everyone will die before fleeing. Smoke tries to help Stack, but the wound is too deep. Stack dies in his brother's arms. Slim drives away the guests, and Annie tells Smoke they should leave Stack's body outside and lock all doors. Smoke refuses. Instead, they lock the body in the side room. Cornby returns and asks permission to enter the building. Annie grows suspicious, and when Cornby won't explain, accuses him of being a vampire. Offended, Cornby demands payment before leaving, but as Smoke is about to hand over the money, Cornby reveals his vampiric face and drags Smoke outside to bite him. Smoke shoots Cornby in the face, no effect, and runs back inside. They slam the door. At that moment, Stack, now a creature, breaks through the side room door, knocking Sami aside. Annie throws pickled garlic juice in Stack's face, causing him agonizing pain. He flees. Smoke helps Sami. Grace says she wants to find her husband, who went to fetch the car. Annie convinces her to stay inside until sunrise, then explains vampire lore to prepare their weapons. They fill jars with garlic, sharpen chair legs into stakes, and collect blessed water and silver. Alone, Sami wonders whether his music provoked these events. In private, Annie extracts a promise from Smoke to kill her if she turns. The group discovers a guest's body in the rear room. Sami and Smoke drag it outside and find Remick has already converted many locals, who now dance and play instruments. They flee back inside, and Annie makes everyone eat garlic to prove their humanity. Perline complains. Smoke forces her to eat it. Slim also reacts strongly, only because he's drunk. Suddenly, a guest bangs on the door, begging entrance. When Smoke opens it, Cornby is mauling him. Bo arrives next and asks to come in. The group distrusts him. Their conversation is cut short by Remick, who proclaims his power will help black people begin a new life in a world that's abandoned them. When he threatens to harm Grace's daughter, Grace goes into a panic and invites the vampires in. The group grabs weapons. A massive battle erupts. Grace hurls Bo into the flames to kill him. Sadly, the fire touches her, and she dies, burning. The friends fight bravely with bullets and stakes, but there are too many swift monsters. Stack bites Annie. Smoke rushes to help her, but Remick knocks him down. Perline shoots Remick in the shoulder to stop him, and Smoke runs to Annie, but she's near death. She reminds him of his promise. Smoke, tearful, impales her with a stake to end her suffering. Mary and Stack, still part human, mourn her loss. The group climbs upstairs while Slim stays behind as bait. He's torn apart by vampires. Remick appears on the upper floor doorway, forcing everyone to retreat inside as he hunts Sammy. Stack attacks his brother. Perline tries to stab Remick, but he knocks her against a beam and bites her. Smoke subdues Stack and shoots Remick to push him back. Sammy tries to reach Perline, but she knows she'll soon turn and tells him to stay away before jumping out the upper floor door. Sammy escapes, though he injures his leg. Remick leaps after him, surprises Sammy from behind, and slashes his face, sending him into the lake. As Remick prepares to deliver the killing bite, Sammy begins to pray. The other vampires gather and pray too, infuriating Remick. He drags Sammy under, railing against religion. Inside, the twins continue fighting. Both are stubborn, neither will yield. Finally, Stack overpowers Smoke but cannot bite him. Smoke seizes the moment, grabs a stake, and apologizes for failing to protect him, only to hear Stack say he bears him no ill will. At the lake, Sammy dismantles his guitar and smashes it over Remick's head. The vampires writhe in agony. Remick shakes the guitar fragment free, but Smoke plunges a stake into him. At that moment, the sun begins to rise. All vampires burn slowly to ashes. Remick, engulfed in a miniature whirlwind of flame, is the last to die. Smoke covers Sammy with his coat and urges him to drive away before the clan arrives. As Sammy reaches the church, Smoke collects every weapon he can find. Hogwood appears with clan members at the closed church doors. Smoke opens fire from the woods, killing half of them before stepping out to continue shooting. The clan wounds him in the stomach. 2 men attempt to flee in a truck, but Smoke throws a grenade that blows it up. Only Hogwood remains. Smoke snatches a cigarette from Hogwood, hallucinates his wife and child nearby, then shoots Hogwood dead. Smoke dies alongside his enemy and is reunited with his family in the church. Sammy refuses to let go of his guitar. He tells his father he won't give up music and departs Mississippi for the north. Many years later, an elderly Sammy still plays in clubs. One night, Mary and Stack visit him, explaining Smoke spared them on the condition they never harmed Sammy. They note Sammy's time is running out and offer to turn him so he can keep making music forever. Sammy declines. He's had enough of the world, but agrees to play one last song for them. He admits the performance before the battle was the best day of his life, the last time he saw the sun, the last time he was with his brother, and the last time he felt free.
If you want interesting movie recaps, like, share, and subscribe to follow us for more movie recaps.